Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Houston Texans and the New Orleans Saints. With that, let's get over to the Mercedes-Benz Superdome with the call from New Orleans. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, it is always a celebration here in New Orleans, and we are just outside of the French Quarter at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. This is what it looked like just a moment ago in the heart of New Orleans. Folks, there's no place for this noise to go in the Superdome. It is loud, and these fans are ready for football as their Saints get ready to do battle with the Houston Texans. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The kicker for the Saints, Will Lutz, has it teed up, and here we go from New Orleans. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. Orchestrating the offense will be a man who, of course, won a national title back in his days at Clemson, Deshaun Watson. On first down, it's Watson. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. It's the linebacker, Alex Anzalone, and he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. Well, that's tough. You come in here, you dial up that pass play on the first play from scrimmage and get it picked.
And you know, coaches always talk about we prepare for every eventuality. You don't even mention this as a possibility when you dial up that play, right? Instead, they throw a pick, and now they're behind the 8-ball on the road to get things going.
Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense.
Five eight. Check. Relax.
So after the INT, it's Breeze. Open man is Hill. He's got it. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. That's caught. It's Thomas. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Off the play fake to Kamara, it's Breeze. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, Couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
On fourth down, off goes Drew Brees, and on comes the Saints kicker, Will Lutz, for the field goal attempt. And Lutz puts this one through. And the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Deshaun Watson and the Texans offense trot back out there. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Next, the receivers help spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
From the 38, Watson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
On first down, Watson rolling to his right. And he's going to keep it here. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
They'll bring out 4 receivers. 3 of them being sent to the left, 1 to the right, 2nd and 4. Play action from Miller. Now Watson. It's complete to Hopkins. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 29-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Set, 18.
Now a first down throw, Watson. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. So here are the starters for this offensive unit. Lamar Miller, very good out of the backfield.
And getting better all the time. The more touches he gets in a game, the bigger his impact on it.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Throwing again is Watson. Man open, that's Kiki QT, complete. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
When you decide to run a hitch route, it really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
A second down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3.
Go!
They'll try to run for it with Miller. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
The kick by Fairbairn is good, and that will tie us at 3-3. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
So Brees going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 26. Working from the gun, it's Brees. He gets it to Thomas. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup, 1st down, New Orleans.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The lightning rod, J.J. Watt with a sack. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now Brees. That one complete to Hill. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage.
And the pressure gets to Brees as he's taken down. The Clemson product, DJ Reader, got in for the sack.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sack.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. DeAndre Carter's deep for the Texans. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. And now out comes Houston. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at the 20. Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete. And now a look at the Saints starting defense.
You can say a lot of things about the great play of Kiko Alonso, but the number one thing you will say, he will hit you.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. To throw is Watson. Going to throw again. And this one grabbed by Darren Fells.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. They turn to the fullback, Gillespie, and he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
3rd and inches, they just handed to the big battering ram there. That's football 101, isn't it? That's bread and butter. Turn around and hand it to the big fella and let him get forward for a 1st down.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
I'm coming after you.
Watson with a give to Miller, and he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. What happened there? Was that just a missed assignment on the O-line?
It certainly felt like it, but also the speed of the play. When you're talking about defensive end, they want to be ahead of the clock, don't they? They want to be upfield, making plays on every snap. How about his agility there to run that one down?
On 2nd and 11 now. Watson, he finds Hopkins complete. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the 1st quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. 1st quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up 1st downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
10 yards there, good enough for a Texan 1st down.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a 1st down.
Two 1st downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. They go back to the ground now with Miller. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. Von Bell up to make the tackle.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the 2nd half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the 1st half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Watson on target here to Fuller. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 22 yards there, a first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Watson now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. Open man is QT, complete. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. On second down, here's Miller. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
From the gun on third, Watson. Underneath for Miller. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that's going to make it 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. From the left hash, this from 37. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals. It's 6-3. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10 at their own 26. To throw, it's Breeze. And this is Cook with a grab. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
7 yards there and a first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got?
From the gun, it's Breeze. And his throw is incomplete. He was trying to get it that time to Ted Ginn, but it's going to be 2nd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet.
Ready.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Now Breeze. Thomas has got it, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 17 there and a New Orleans first down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 47.
Switch it. Come on, switch it.
Breeze leaves this one with Kamara. And he's got this down to the 35. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Ready. 95-56. Watch the run.
Breeze now on first down. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3 on the ground. This is Kamara. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. .3 is our score after 1. It's the NFL on EA Sports. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Breeze to throw. That'll be complete to Cook. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. They give him 2 yards there as they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
Ready. 95-56. 95-56. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal.
Watch left. Watch left. Here we go, D. Here I come. Here I come.
Here's Kamara out of the pistol. And he'll barrel his way into the end zone for a Saint touchdown. Taking it in from 7 yards away. And once again, the Saints are back out in front. And on his way to the end zone, shedding the tackle, he would not be denied.
That's what's called finishing the run. Making sure you power your way through. One-on-one tackle. No running back wants to go to the bench and say, I got stopped just short.
Will Lutz on for the point after. And he's got it as the lead is now 10-6. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And the capper came from Alvin Kamara on the touchdown run. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And a look now at Lamar Miller. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 23. From the gun, here's Watson. His throw incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target, and it's 2nd down. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson, he'll buy some time right. He'll run it, and he's able to get up here to the 26. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down. The Texans on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Faking the give. Now Watson. Got an open man. It's QT. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Receivers love having the reputation of being go-to guys on 3rd down. And he was fighting like he really wanted to have that reputation, didn't he? I mean, he came very close to making that a 1st down.
Broke the 1 tackle, but couldn't spring himself free. On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. Deontay Harris deep for New Orleans. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn it into a play action, and throw one deep.
This one into the hands of Ginn out wide. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Ready for this. They still playing soccer. Y'all playing the wrong football.
Running with Kamara. He'll be upended at the 18. That's a very helpful pickup of 9 after the play began at the 9.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
Now Breeze on 3rd down. He's going to air one out. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Here's Thomas Morstead now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. David Onyemata breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way, and what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. 3rd and long, it's Watson. Fighting through pressure. And this is going to be incomplete.
If very smart play right there. Pocket collapsing around him. Love the way he moved around a little bit and avoided the sack.
Here's Brian Anger now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Here now, a look at Drew Brees in our player spotlight. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. And now on the pitch, the ball's loose.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Brees going to try and throw on 3rd down. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. And we focus on Lamar Miller as he heads back out there and gets set to go again on offense. He's just been looking for some space. You know, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Now Watson. Open man, the tight end fails. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball.
Get a completion.
You get a catch.
Yeah.
But still, no yardage. Okay.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Houston. A big boot that time, 57 yards the official distance. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And our attention here turns to Latavius Murray. And he's had his chances in this game. He just hasn't been able to find any daylight so far.
Patience, patience, patience. And that's the hard part for a runner because they expect every run to be a big one for something to pop. So they have to sometimes go through the struggles before it happens for them later in the game. But you got to give credit to the rest of the team. They've worked around the fact that he hasn't had his normal big game.
Yeah, despite his struggles, still winning here in the second quarter. Breeze now on first down. It's Hill, complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. They'll run. This is Kamara. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
The Saints on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. He was trying to hit Thomas that time.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
And now out comes Houston. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Watson hands to Miller on the draw. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strip.
A throw out line to QT, complete. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 7 yards there and a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
The Texans with the first opportunity now from the red zone. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. Now it's Watson setting up the screen for Miller. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. They get just 2 out of it there, and it's 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Here's Watson. He's got his tight end. It's Fells. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
A 3rd field goal in the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. To the air yet again, Watson. And it's caught. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a 1st down.
Right there, 56. Watch the run.
Open man is QT, complete. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Watson looks to throw again. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Texans have once again taken the lead. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. And this one's right there, and that pushes the lead to 13-10. So that drives 7 plays in length, and it results in the Texans finding the end zone. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Breeze, one of the best ever in these situations as he's trying to get his guys set. Throwing again on 2nd down. Breeze. And brought in by the tight end Cook. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 40.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
Breeze now 12 of 16 thus far. It's 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Breeze. And this is Cook with a grab. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Again, they'll throw with Breeze. Again has it complete. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Breeze now rebounding nicely after the interception. He's hit 4 straight to start the drive. It's 1st down. Breeze to throw again. This is caught by Gill. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
When you see zone defense and you know you got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Again, it's Breeze. And that one finds the ground, breaking a string of 5 straight completions. And it brings up 2nd down. No, 3rd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. Now Breeze again. That'll be complete to Cook. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome, everyone, to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one's been as good as advertised. Just a field goal separating these two teams as they've already made their way back out of the locker room. So to bring you the story of the second half, let's get you right back out to Brandon Godden.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here now a look at Drew Brees in our player spotlight. And he has not really been able to have a lot of comfort back there in the pocket. Pressure's been coming at him a lot, hasn't it?
And they've got to figure out how to tamp down that pressure. How do they decrease it? Is it getting rid of the football quicker? You know, shorter drops? Maybe they do something different with their pass blocking and their protection schemes. Maybe you meet them on the line of scrimmage instead of retreating to try and protect your quarterback. They've got to figure something out, though, because you cannot let your guy get hit that much, not if you intend to win.
I know they'd like to erase that video and those 4 sacks that they've seen so far. They go play action here on first down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Back to the air on second down. It's Breeze. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. So the big play gets him across midfield now for first and 10. To throw is Breeze. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Angelo Blackson. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Breeze now to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the gun, it's Breeze. He gets it to Thomas. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 32-yard line. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
From the 32 now, here's first and 10.
Let's get off the field, B. Let's get off the field.
Now Breeze. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Here's second and 10 now from about the 32. Breeze on the draw, gives to Kamara. And Kamara has it stripped. And the Texans scoop it. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. Watson will bring up the Texans here, first and 10 at the 34. They'll try and get the run game going. This is Miller. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
On 2nd and 9, Watson, and his throw here's incomplete.
NFL quarterbacks work so hard on their mechanics, and they do so much repetition and practice, off-season, the whole deal. They expect it to be autopilot once the games start. That way it eliminates any type of pressure of the game, pressure of people in your face, all of that. That didn't shine through on that throw, though, did it?
No. A little bit of a dangerous pass and off target, too. And the catch made by Hopkins. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here's Brian Anger now. He's been terrific so far. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Off the play fake to Kamara, it's Breeze. He'll air it out deep for Thomas, and that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
Here's Kamara off the draw. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything, change it up, because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
Now Breeze on 3rd down. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Angelo Blackson picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Here comes Carter. 12 yards on the return that time. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. 10th carry now for Lamar Miller. tackle is made by Cameron Jordan.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the Saints' 49-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll run it again with Miller. And an alley to run. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Set.
Watson going to pull back the handoff and keep it himself. He's got Fuller. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
Now it's Watson, a bootleg. Open man, the tight end fails. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
They'll run, hide. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Miller. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
This is caught. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. They're able to hold him to 3 there, and that leads to a 4th and goal.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And that extends their advantage to 6. It's 16-10. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that second score here in the 3rd quarter.
Ready.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. Gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
So 1 play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Breeze now. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. 7 yards on the play, and it's a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Throwing now is Breeze. And complete right side to Cook. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. And he's going to be close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Texans' 31.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Breeze looking to throw on 3rd and 2. This is complete to Michael Thomas. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. Breeze on the hook up to Thomas for the New Orleans first.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, We see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Bree's going to come up here, 1st and 10, and he's hit on all 5 of his pass attempts on this drive so far. Here's Breeze. It's brought in by Harris. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 7 yards there and a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
5-8, 5-8. Hey, watch the screen, watch the screen.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
They run it for the first time with a backup Murray. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Check 41. Let's go.
From the gun on 3rd down, Breeze. Got a man open. It's Thomas. It's a touchdown for New Orleans. A 5-yard touchdown catch. And now they can recapture the lead if they can make the PAT. An out route there for the score. A quick out route there for the score.
Yeah, you're not really surveying the defense on this one. You're just counting on timing, making this play happen. 1-2, ball's out of his hands. Knows where he's going, just puts it to the outside. Touchdown.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. And that one puts them on top here in the 3rd. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Let's go.
Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. He's hoping to channel his first half play. They had the lead at halftime, was playing well. Flip the script here in the 3rd quarter a little bit.
I think he misses the Pee-wee days, you know, when you just got the orange slice at halftime, right? And remember, weren't any real adjustments then, right? You weren't looking at some tape, right? You weren't looking at stuff off of the Surface tablets. You just went back out and played. Right now, maybe the adjustments have caught up to him.
Well, we'll see. Maybe he just needs a couple orange slices here for this drive. Watson now to throw. It's complete to Fuller. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Watson going to give this one to Miller. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. He may try and run for this. And a nice job there defensively to contain him and get him to the ground a few yards short of the 1st down marker. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. Alvin Kamara and the Saints set to start their next drive. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And he will score. It's a touchdown. This game, it's been defensively oriented on both sides, so I guess it stands to reason that the play of the game comes on defense.
So it's my kind of game. You know that.
That's right.
Anytime we have
That's
a
right.
defensive battle, but that, as you said, it stands to reason that's the way the game tilted. Someone had to make a big play, and the way the defenses were dominating, that's exactly what we got.
Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion. After the interception, here's Watson. And this one's caught. And their 4th quarter lead grows by a couple more. And they turn the pick 6 into a pick 8 with that 2-point conversion.
I love how you upsell. That is outstanding right there. What a big-time play. Big switch in how this game was going, and then they capitalized with a little bit on top.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Saints coming out now to take the field. So Brees going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now Brees to try again after the pick 6. Thomas has got it, complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Ready. Yellow lady. I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over.
From midfield, here's Breeze. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DJ Reader able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. To throw, it's Breeze. Ginn has it complete. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
Partney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Now Breeze. And Ginn's got it. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 31-yard line. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Breeze. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Again, it's Breeze. Complete. Smith has it. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. Kamara. And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a 1st down. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
They had yet to run the ball at all on this drive, but 3rd and short, definitely was a great time to dial one up.
Into the red zone, it's Breeze. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 11. He's at the 50. 30. Past the 20. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. Oh, that's about as tough as they come. You're driving to try to put the ball in the end zone and tie the game, and that happens.
It's exciting for us, wasn't it? Because we were thinking, hey, we might be headed towards overtime. Instead, it looks like this one may very well be done. And guess what? If you're a fantasy owner and you have that defense, you just had a big, big game, didn't you?
Fairbairn now to add the extra point. And the lead is up to 14.
Makes the score Texans 41.
A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. The 30, 10, touchdown, New Orleans. He goes 102 yards from one end zone to the other as his guys are back within a single score. And that big fourth quarter return, Charles, makes this a one-score game.
And now it all comes down to philosophy. All right, they just had a big return for a touchdown, so the momentum is high. Do you want to ride that and go for two? Or do you just go ahead and kick the extra point and come back and rely on your defense?
Lutz to try to add the PAT. And that'll cut the lead down now to a touchdown. So he takes it from 2 yards deep all the way down the field into the other end zone. Add it all up, 102-yard return on the kickoff. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They begin with a run by Miller. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
On 2nd down and 4. Watson, he's got his tight end. It's Fells. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Here's Brian Anger now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away.
We got this.
Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Now Breeze. And this one complete to Smith. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down. All the yards, completions, just another play that's a feather in the cap of the great career of Drew Brees.
And wasn't he supposed to be too small to be an effective quarterback in the NFL?
Yeah, how'd that work out?
Yeah, well, his footwork, I think, really sets him apart. Remember, he was a junior tennis champion, beat Andy Roddick, the future U.S. Open champion, back when they were in the juniors. I think that footwork really helps him be the great quarterback he is now.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Breeze. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Traquan Smith, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Watch tight end. Tight end's right.
To throw is Breeze. He's got Smith here. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. Now Breeze again. And that is incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point, and they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Houston. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at the 20. A shotgun snap for Watson. It's complete to Hopkins. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They've got to go thank the guys on D.
They'll go with a draw. Watson hands to Miller. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Will Fuller, nobody there to stop him. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple of seconds mulling over what the penalty would do for them?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. And the lead is up to 14.
Next to score, Texans 38.
The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And the result, a Houston touchdown. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Here comes Michael Thomas and the rest of the Saints offense. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter does this, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. That'll be complete to Cook. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Now throwing on first down and completing it. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Michael Thomas, his second touchdown of the afternoon, as his guys are back within a single score.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
Alonso looked to add the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down now to a touchdown. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Now a look at Will Fuller as he and the rest of the offense gears up to get ready to go again. They might want to mix something up defensively because he's been shredding them a bit, hasn't he?
That he has, and even with all the changes that you know are going on the defensive side of the ball, he's still finding ways to get open, finding the right spots, and the delivery's been pretty good too.
He's over 100 yards, has the 1 touchdown score to this point. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 23. Miller will get it. He has been busy today. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Lamar Miller. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. So the solid run on 1st, and I would imagine no real hurry to run that 2nd down play.
No, it's all on your quarterback now. He's going to keep an eye on the play clock and bleed things down, and he's not going to let the ball be snapped until it's inside 3 seconds left on the play clock. Unless, of course, you're playing a video game, you're trying to run it up on your friend.
Nice touch. Colt under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The sack coming from defensive end Cameron Jordan.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And a catch made by Hopkins. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. A shotgun handoff now to Miller. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. This a very important drive, and that incompletion leads to a very important 3rd down here if they're going to try and get the football back.
Yeah, getting it back, absolutely crucial to their chances to try and win this game. I would expect a lot of pressure here. They can't afford to let them continue to get 1st downs and eat away at the clock.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the 1st there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know If they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Houston. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. Drew Brees getting ready to go again on offense. I would imagine you want to win every game big, but if you're a quarterback in the NFL, this is the spot that you love.
You've been dreaming of it since you were a kid, playing in the backyard or the front yard, wherever, where you went through those imaginary situations. Now it's real, though. What practice have you put in since the OTAs, the mini camps, preseason camp, sequence of plays, get the ball to the outside, get it out of bounds, save your timeouts, move the ball downfield to get your team in a position to win the game.
And a field goal, of course, no good. They need a score. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Here's Brees. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
And it looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning. Brees now on first down. And brought in by the tight end Cook. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. We've got a one-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. He'll look to throw. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. A gain of 6 there on first.
Not in a position where they absolutely have to rush right now, but they definitely have to pick up the tempo a bit.
Brees, one of the best ever in these situations as he's trying to get his guys set. To throw is Brees. This is caught by Gill. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Now you're right on the edge of field goal range. You've still got time, but get up to the line of scrimmage and get set.
First down now, but that clock rolling. Now Brees. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
This defense needs a big play in the worst way because so far, they're not putting up much of a fight. If they don't get a stop here soon, this game could be over for them.
The Saints in the hurry up here, clock continuing to roll. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. That's to his running back, it's Alvin Kamara. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll be 2nd down. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Back to throw. And he'd completed 7 straight passes before that one as it falls incomplete and puts a halt to that streak. 3rd and long coming up. Defensively, you pressure the quarterback or drape all over the passing lane?
Yes, that's exactly what you do. It's both because they're not mutually exclusive. They may have been at one time in football, but not anymore. You want to have that pressure, and if you have a big-time pass rusher, send him after the quarterback and then make sure you blanket the field.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. What a great sequence by this defense so far. They've given him nowhere to go with the football.
And they just have to make it stand up one more time because it appears that they've got their number. Can they not have a slip up here and allow the touchdown?
Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. Breeze to throw for it on 4th. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Vernon Hargraves with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, Charles, he's thrown 5 picks in a game before, and right now after that one, he's standing on number 4.
And right now, your defensive coordinator is asking the offensive coordinator, can you do anything to slow this down? Because my guys have to keep running back out on the field. So play calling may come into it a little bit, maybe run the ball a little bit more. But a lot of it depends on the scoreboard. They may have to keep throwing it.
After the interception, here's Watson. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. So they will set up shop. Excellent field position in the red zone at the 19-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Ready? 95-56, 95-56.
So after the INT, it's Breeze. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. He was trying to get it to his running back, Alvin Kamara, but it'll be 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to throw, Breeze. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. They've got to burn the timeout, and they do, but a costly, costly sack. And now maybe just time for one final play. Third and long now after the sack of Breeze, and the Saints up against it here. He's back to throw, letting one go deep for the end zone. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. One final try here for Breeze. Looking for the end zone. And this is incomplete. So no miracles here on the final play. And this ball game is over. So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. Till next time, we say so long from the Bayou.